sleep has transitioned from the domain of artists, poets, and philosophers to the realms of scientists and clinicians. In the 20th century, pioneering sleep professionals advanced their fields by forming organizations such as the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. The origins of the Academy can be traced to the University of Chicago, where Professor Nathaniel Kleitman was a trailblazer in sleep research.
Well, I was interested in the state of consciousness and how it operates in a human being. And I thought that if we know something about a state of unconsciousness, not anesthesia, but normal unconsciousness, which is sleep, we may be able to derive an opinion as to what makes the conscious brain operate, or how it operates, or what the conditions are which govern its operation. And of course, one way to do that is to study phenomena of sleep and compare them with what happens in the waking state.
Professor Kleitman explored new directions in his research with the assistance of graduate student Eugene Azarinsky and medical student William Dement. Together, their work led to the groundbreaking discovery of rapid eye movement sleep.
Lo and behold, after running the paper through at 50 millimeters per second or faster, I don't remember if I had 100, I sped it through, there was no question I could identify fast eye movements. There was no doubt about it in my mind at all. And so you could say that the first recognition of REM took place at that time, which was in April of 1952.
Sleep became a lifelong passion for Dement, who eventually established a narcolepsy clinic and then a full-service sleep center at Stanford University.
With great fanfare, we had a press conference. One reporter showed up. We opened the world's first sleep disorders clinic for the diagnosis and treatment of sleep disorders.
Soon, there was a need for a new professional society to represent the sleep disorders centers that were beginning to open across the country.
In 1975, there were finally 5 other places started doing this. We formed the neophyte organization, what is now the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. I was the first president for 12 years.
And we met in Chicago on the 2nd floor of the Harry Hilton, and we had a one-day meeting. Everybody sort of recognized the need for a clinical sleep society, for people to provide clinical services and to develop standards for those clinical services.
This American Association of Sleep Disorders Centers, which was soon shortened to the Association of Sleep Disorders Centers, developed standards of care for its member sleep centers and soon implemented an accreditation program.
So you had to have dedicated space, you had the quality of the space, the quality of the polysomnic of the machines, the quality of the recordings. What are the procedures? What are the methods? What are the clinical diagnoses?
The Sleep Center at New York City's Montefiore Hospital, led by Dr. Elliot Weitzman, and Dement's Sleep Center at Stanford University were the first to be accredited in April 1977. Soon, the association began to offer a board certification exam in clinical polysomnography, led by Dr. Thomas Roth. The organizing committee included Dr. Mary Carskadden.
And the very first PSG polysomnography test that was done for the clinicians, I wrote, and I graded.
21 of 28 candidates became board certified in April 1978. Another early priority of the association was to develop a peer-reviewed journal for the field.
So Bill Dement had a vision of what a field is. What do you need? So the first thing you needed is clinics. You need a medical discipline. You need procedures and do that. Then you need a scientific journal.
In 1978, the first issue of the jointly sponsored journal Sleep was published. The following year, a committee of the ASDC, led by Dr. Howard Rothward, published the first nosology of sleep disorders. In just 5 years, the ASDC had established a solid foundation for its member sleep centers. But there was a growing need to equip and represent sleep clinicians.
There was no pathway to joining the structure because this was an association of centers, not individuals. I thought there should be.
Dr. Philip Westbrook started the Clinical Sleep Society in 1984, and his wife Carol was the administrator.
But it wasn't to be separate. It was really founded as a committee of the ASDC.
Both sleep centers and sleep clinicians now had a clear trail leading to a professional home.
So I'd say one thing, people ask me now with thousands of people practicing sleep medicine and knowing that sleep disorders are maybe the #1 health problem on the planet, how did you do this? Well, it's just one thing led to another, really. Once we were on the trail, just follow the trail.